Alright, here we are, finally on my way. I'm just walking on this trail. I'm going to be following it today and most of the day tomorrow until I get to a place where I can get a boat ride into the part of the national park that doesn't have any trails. Well, my ride's gone, so here it is. It's time to get serious. Got about a 1 hour hike, he said, to an old observation station that's closed, but should be good tenting grounds around there. So that's my goal for today, to reach there and then get some rest for tomorrow, because tomorrow's hike is going to be really tough physically. But yeah, feels awesome to be here. The boat ride in here was spectacular. Going through this delta, it's really cool. So yeah, I gotta get going. This is my view right now. Trying to figure out where I'm going. Can't see more than a few meters ahead. So it's pretty slow going. But I should be about halfway from where I got dropped off with the boat to where I'm trying to go. So I should reach it before nightfall. Turned out it was another little plot twist. This is not actually the Litnock observatory hut. This seems to be one of the small measuring stations or whatever they built. This was all built in I think about 1912, about 105 years ago. I started freaking out a little bit again because that meant I didn't really know where I was, but I found a little footpath behind here, and sure enough, 5 minutes up here is the actual hut. I might actually stay here tonight because there's an old fireplace. I might just light a fire. I can hear something. Don't know what that is. Anyway, sounded like metal scraping on something. Anyway, so I'm gonna gather some firewood, make some dinner, and then get some sleep. I've been walking for about 40 minutes and just thought I'd show that mountain sitting in the middle of the valley. Kind of oddly shaped one, it's flat on top. I got dropped on the other side of that one yesterday afternoon. Then I came up through the forest. Been walking a little bit now. Found this kind of flat sandbank. It ends here though. I'm gonna have to go back in the forest. And then that mountain with the snow on it, the canyon that I'm going to follow today is just below it. So I'm going to go up to the west, to the left, once I reach it. I'm just walking straight towards that mountain for now. this bend here. And so it shouldn't be far until I reach Vagge, which is here. I'll have to follow this up towards the bridge. This is too big to cross. But that's the first goal of today. Probably not too far left now. Oh, check this out! The water has just carved out these really cool shapes in the rock. And high up, I'm not even sure you can hear me. It's really loud. But really cool place. Just starting to gain a little bit of altitude now. Working my way up to that ridge over there. Probably gonna have lunch up there. That was not steady at all. Woo. So it's the end of day 3, and I'm in my tent here. Just about to go to bed. Just thought I'd summarize a little bit about how I've been doing the last couple of days. Yesterday, after getting dropped off and hiking through some really rough terrain, got a little bit of a blister because my feet got wet, and then slept basically in the middle of the woods. Loads of mosquitoes. First real day hiking, and it was really tough. Or the first day hiking sort of in the national park off the trails. Got the major blues, really homesick, just longing for company and stuff. And that lasted until this morning. I woke up cold. It was kind of overcast, raining a little bit. Felt pretty bad. Just feeling like this whole trip was going to be an ordeal. And then started hiking, and it was rough going today. Very tough terrain, but I covered a lot of distance. And at the end, I was heading towards that bridge. I finally found the bridge after what seemed like an eternity, like literally just walking and walking and walking and walking. And crossed the bridge, kept going. The sun came out, it was beautiful. And just kept going until I found a nice spot to pitch my tent. And that's where I am now. And during those last 2 hours after I crossed the bridge, my mood really changed. I realized I was making really good time, so I don't need to stress at all. And just the view here is epic. And yeah, just small things like that can really flip like your perspective and your mood. Out here it's like you're so much more susceptible to those small things. A small victory will really like give you energy for a whole day, while a small setback can really bring you down. But I'm feeling good right now, so hopefully tomorrow I can keep that positive energy going. A little bit ahead of schedule right now, so it feels good. And had a good dinner, and hopefully get some good rest now. Alright, it's the morning, day number 4. I just started out. There goes my walking sticks. I don't know if you can see very well in the camera, the sun's in our eyes, but that small mountain, sort of one that's flat on top, I started just beyond that yesterday morning, came up following the river, and then turned up, walked all along this canyon. You can not see it because it goes down there, around this crest here, then came across the bridge and camped just beyond here. I couldn't really feel it in my body, especially my feet. They got quite blistered up, so bandaged them this morning, and I'm gonna try and take it real slow today, and keep an eye on that because I need my feet to be in good condition. About to head down into the valley, following the delta, the river. Just wanted to note, this is basically the biggest obstacle in this hike. The south side of this valley is known amongst hikers in Sweden as the Inferno, because of how difficult the terrain is, how much underbrush, trees, wet grounds, and basically the other day when I took a boat ride over one of the lakes, the lady asked me where I was going, and I said, yeah, I'm gonna go by this mountain, and then I'm gonna hike up the south side of the Rapa Valley. And she just got this horrified look on her face, and she said, why? And you know, I said, well, I'm heading this way later, so I'm gonna follow this. And she's just looked at me, looked me in the eye, and she said, don't. Just tell you what, don't. The terrain is just terrible. You won't see anything. And she recommended a different route, following the other side of the valley, walking higher up and then coming down. And you know, at that point, I didn't really know what to make of it. I was tempted to do that because I know that this is probably gonna be really hard. But I decided to do it anyway because when I planned this hike, this was kind of like the big challenge, and I felt like if I didn't do it, I would feel disappointed afterwards. Just following one of these many paths seem to be carved up by big moose that live here, make it slightly easier to get through. I can hear water, so I'm gonna refill up here. A really pretty place. So this is my camp for tonight. Probably the best camp I've ever had, or best campsite at least, in the Swedish mountains. This is just, it's perfect. You got all the valley down there, the rest of the valley down there. The sun's right on it, evening sun. Got the reindeer running around, the water coming off the mountains. So there's a water source there and there. And there's already a fireplace prepared here, so I'm gonna gather some more firewood and just have a really chill evening. So it's the morning of the 5th day, and I'm making my way through the second half of the Rapa Valley. Starting to encounter more of that terrain I was warned about. You can just tell it's really thick, and on the ground it's just really uneven. Lots of roots, lots of falling trees, rocks. Almost tripped just back there. So yeah, it's slow progress so far today. I'm just trying to make my way now down a little bit. Should be a sandbank here. See if I can follow that for a short while. What I've been expecting basically since yesterday. This stuff. It's taller than me, and then it's really dense. So I'm just taking a breather here, and then I'm gonna try and force my way through that. It looks like it might rain as well. Let's carve a little bit of a path here, maybe like a moose. It's helping me a little bit. This is a lot of effort. So I'm now in the middle of it. I've just walked through a few kilometers of just terrible terrain. So you can probably tell I'm a bit sick of it. It's really wearing me down, but I'm just trying to keep going now because I feel like it's gonna rain, and I don't want to be in this thick stuff when it gets wet because it's just gonna soak me entirely. So I'm gonna keep on pushing, trying to get through this in a few hours, and then stop, get some lunch, and rest a little bit. Pretty much right at the end of the Rapa Valley right now. So yeah, I'm probably not going to film that much right now. I'm just going to turn this off and try and get through it. So I'll let you know how it goes after. Alright, I'm inside of Isvage, and I've well and truly made it through the Rapa Valley. The roughest terrain there. It continued pretty far into here. I mean, you can see here it's still pretty rough, but this is a lot better still. It's been a really rough morning, a really rough day. Motivation has not been on top for me. My body's feeling kind of tired, I guess mentally as well. And then the weather doesn't help, I guess. But I've been lucky so far, so I can't really complain. But it's gonna keep pushing up here. Beyond this turn, and down between those two mountains, and then probably take an early break today, break for the day, maybe around 6 if I find a good spot, and try and rest a little bit. So, an update. Obviously I haven't been filming a lot today, and That's because of this. It's been raining pretty much since lunchtime when I filmed a little bit. It just started raining after that, and it's been raining all day. It's just gotten more and more. Now it's starting to maybe calm down a little bit, but it was raining pretty bad earlier. And the terrain was a lot worse than I had been led to believe by what I'd read about this area. I don't know why that is, but it's just a lot of really thick bushes and tangling roots, up and down uneven country, and just literally had to force my way through a lot of that foliage. And since it's been raining, it was all wet, and I just got soaked from top to toe. And then at the very end, I had to wade through a really powerful stream. It was rapidly flowing and pretty deep, and honestly it was a little bit on the edge. I could feel my legs kind of getting tugged at. I almost couldn't pull them up to the place where I wanted, but managed on willpower somehow. And then I saw on the map that there's basically like a little outpost here where the people that own some of the reindeer here can observe them. Sometimes those are open to hikers. I've been to one once before, but yeah, I got here and sure enough it was locked, barred, sealed off. But just pitched my tent outside, and I'm gonna try and sleep here in a bit. Just try to cram everything under this tent canvas because it's real wet out there. So hopefully the rest of the trip won't be like this, because it will be pretty miserable, but hanging in there.